Today we're going underneath the covers, so stick around. Hello there and welcome to PencilStash. I'm Rachel. This is a weekly show about adult coloring, colored pencils, tips, and tricks. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, or better yet, that bell button to be notified when I've uploaded new content. And if you're enjoying my videos, please, please, please give me a big thumbs up. It helps new folks find my channel. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but in all three of the Romantic Country Coloring Book series books, they have a dust jacket, which is very cool. But underneath the dust jacket, they actually have their covers printed on brown cotton rag paper. So there's actually a printed page on both the front and the back that is inside the book. And this is very, very cool because you can color it. And the nice thing about these brown papers is that it makes your light colors pop. So today we're actually going to be coloring the front cover of Romantic Country's third tale, and we're going to see how our Prismacolors do on our brown paper. So let's head over to my desk and we'll get started. Hey everyone! I'm very excited about today's video. We're in for a fun new spin today, and I have a new microphone that I'm trying out, so hopefully the sound quality will be much improved. So today we are taking the dust jacket off of our Romantic Country coloring book. Again, all the Romantic Country books have this. Basically, it's a page from inside of the book that's reprinted on either the front or the back. They're obviously different pictures, onto the brown cotton paper that is the cover of the book. And this paper is going to be great for pops of white and lighter colors. So let me show you what I mean. Let's do these clouds real quick. See what I mean? Isn't that cool? So this is going to be a lot of fun and definitely a new challenge for me, as I have not used this type of paper with colored pencils in a really, really long time. So let's see if my memory serves me. What I'm most excited about is doing this bridge. I'm going to use a bunch of warm grays, and I think just like the white that they'll pop on this paper. So I'll start out using my white as a highlight on the top edge of this brick. And in terms of lighting, I've sort of decided that the sun is directly overhead, so I'll concentrate my highlights accordingly. Now I'll use my warm grays in succession to build up some layers. And the first thing I'm noticing here is that the colored pencil doesn't have the same sort of coverage it does on typical white coloring book paper. This paper seems to have more texture to it, so to get a complete coverage, I'll be layering colors on top of one another to push the pigment into some of those depths into the texture of the paper. This will limit the amount of that visible brown, paper layer showing through. Now I'm building in some shadow here under the overhang of the bridge with my darkest warm gray. And now we'll build up all of our grays on the face of this bridge to give it some texture and some shading in these cracks. The other thing I'm noticing is that my lighter colors really layer well on top of my darker colors. And this is something that you don't really get on regular white paper. So I typically start on regular white paper with my lightest colors, and then I build around them with my darks, and even sometimes on top of them. But on this brown paper, I think it's best to do just the opposite. And that's definitely going to take some getting used to. And just like with white paper, this blender tool is going to be your best friend. Make sure that when you're using the blender here that you're pulling some of these dark shadows downwards towards the face of the bridge, kind of in a up and down motion. It'll pull the dark color downwards, which will sort of mimic like water runoff and how this bridge would show wear and tear. If you went sideways with it, it would create more of a harsh line between the dark and the lighter colors. I just love how these colors are showing up on this brown paper. Now we'll do a similar technique on the railings here, keeping in mind to keep our light highlight along the top edge of the railing to capture that overhead sunlight. Now let's move on to the artist easel. And again, we're going to start with our darkest color, dark umber, and we'll put this in our shadowed areas. Then we'll fill it in with our light umber, kind of feathering against that dark umber so that we don't go over top of it, because it's really easy to do that, kind of similar to the opposite that you get with white paper. And we don't want to cover up all of these lovely dark browns. And now we'll use our ginger root to be our highlight. Let's do these trees, and today we are going to mix it up. No green leaves for this page. We're going full on autumn. So we're going to use a bunch of yellows, oranges, and reds here. And I want to tell you that there's a method to my madness, but you just kind of have to feel out where to place these colors. And I will tell you that I like to put my oranges around my yellows and my reds against my oranges, just because I think it gives a better transition and blend, but that's not a hard and fast rule. Also, if you use a circular motion when you feather against these edges against one another, it will also give you a smoother blend. And when we blend, we'll use that same circular motion. Now let's do the water, and we can't forget that the reflection of our water is going to reflect these great autumn leaves. So we'll start with an edge of yellow. And I'm using a horizontal motion with short strokes. Now this is very much my style, and it gives me that look that I like to use for water. And you'll notice here I'm not really going for full coverage, as I'll be going back in, feathering with additional color like I am right now with my mineral orange. Now we'll add our blues using the same technique, remembering to pull those blues into the autumn reflection area as well. And I'm going to save this area here under the bridge for my indigo blue, where the sunlight wouldn't be really lighting this area up too much. And now with our blender, with this area though, I'm going to stick with only side to side horizontal strokes so that I maintain those lines. If you were to use the blender in an up and down motion, it would kind of push those a little bit more than I want to. And so kind of keeping with that same, go with the grain of the wood, as it's said. I really think that this blender is really just going to soften those edges and maintain those horizontal lines that I want. All right, that is all that we're going to cover in this video, but here's how the page turned out. What do you guys think? I really enjoyed coloring on this brown paper and definitely plan to do the other ones from the Romantic Country series in the future. And remember that they are on all 3 books, so you'll basically get 2 brown pages to do per book. So I strongly encourage you to check them out and try one for yourself. And before I let you go, let's take a look at our featured work submissions from Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to submit your work, you can post on Instagram using the hashtag PencilStash or in our PencilStash Adult Coloring group on Facebook. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and check out the rest of my tutorial videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.